Hello, dear friends. Wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year ahead. I, your favorite ma'am, welcomes you back to the science class today. In today's video, we will be talking about pollution of air and water, which we had started in our previous video. But today, we will mostly talk about water pollution and its effect and how to control it. So let's get started. In the previous video, we had talked about air pollution. How does air gets polluted? Types and causes of air pollution, effects of air pollution, as well as how can we control air pollution. So if you want to check the part 1 of this video, I will put up a link in the description box. You can go and check that out. Water is one of the most important substances on earth. All plants and animals must have water to survive. So if there is no water, there would be no life on earth. So it is also called the source of life. But nowadays, the water is not pure anymore. There are some harmful substances present in the water that is having a chronic effect on both the life as well as the environment on earth. So the presence of these harmful substances in the water is called water pollution. Water pollution occurs when harmful substances, often chemicals or microorganisms, contaminate a stream, river, lake, ocean, aquifer, or other body of water, degrading the water quality and rendering it toxic to human or the environment. Water is uniquely vulnerable to pollution. Known as universal solvent, water is able to dissolve more substances than any other liquid on earth. It is also why water is so easily polluted. Toxic substances from farms, towns, and factories readily dissolve into and mix with it, causing water pollution. Now let's talk about some categories of water pollution. A lot of Earth's water is found underground in soil or under rock structures called aquifers. Humans often use aquifers as a means to obtain drinking water and build wells to access it. So when this water becomes polluted, it is called groundwater pollution. Groundwater pollution is often caused by pesticides contamination from the soil, swimming pool chemicals, leakage of pipes, underground containing petroleum products, etc. This can infect our drinking water and cause huge problems. Covering about 70% of the Earth's surface, water is what fills our oceans, lakes, rivers, and all those blue bits on the world map. Surface water from freshwater sources accounts for more than 60% of the water delivered to our home. But nearly half of our rivers and streams and more than one-third of our lakes are polluted and unfit for drinking. Water from lakes and rivers that are used by municipalities, agricultural and industry is increasingly exposed to pollutants from manufacturing or the environment. Fertilizers can leak into rivers and flooding lead to pollution of surface water as the volume spread across areas that are normally not exposed to water. These contaminants are why water must be treated before being used for human consumption. Ocean pollution, also called marine pollution, is a combination of chemicals and trash, most of which comes from the land sources or is washed or blown into the ocean. Contaminants such as chemicals, nutrients, and heavy metals are carried from the farm, factories, and cities by streams and rivers into our bays and estuaries, from where they travel to the sea. Particularly plastic, which is blown in by the wind or washed in via storm drains and sewers. This pollution results in damage to the environment, to the health of all organisms, and to the economic structures worldwide. Point source pollution is easy to identify. As the name suggests, it comes from a single place. So when contamination originates from a single source, it is called point source pollution. Examples include wastewater discharged legally or illegally by a manufacturer, oil refinery, or wastewater treatment, as the contamination from a leaking septic systems, chemicals, and oil spills, or maybe illegal dumping. While point source pollution originates from a specific place, it can affect miles of waterways and oceans. Non-point source pollution is a contamination derived from diffuse sources. These may include agricultural or stormwater runoff or debris blown into waterways from land. People can contribute to non-point source pollution without even realizing it. Non-point sources of pollution in urban areas may include parking lots, streets, and roads from where stormwater or rainwater picks up oils, grease, metal, dirt, salts, and other toxic materials. Non-point source pollution is the leading cause of water pollution, but it is difficult to regulate since there is no single identifiable culprit. It goes without saying that water pollution can't be contained by a line on a map. Transboundary pollution is the result of contaminated water from one country spilling into the waters of another. Contamination can result from a disaster like an oil spill or the slow, downriver creep of industrial, agricultural, or municipal discharge. Not only is the agricultural sector the biggest consumer of global freshwater resources, with farming and livestock production using about 70% of the Earth's surface water supplies, but it is also a serious water polluter. Around the world, agriculture is the leading cause of water degradation. It is also a major contribution of contamination to groundwater, because every time it rains, fertilizers, pesticides, and animal waste from farms and livestock operations wash nutrients and pathogens such as bacteria and viruses into our waterways, which can cause algal bloom, a toxic soup of blue-green algae that can be harmful to the people and wildlife. Sewage is the term used for wastewater that often contains feces, urine, and laundry waste. It comes from our sinks, showers, and toilets, and from commercial, industrial, and agricultural activities. Sewage is treated in the water treatment plants, and the water is often disposed into the sea. Oil is an ancient fossil fuel that we use to heat our homes, generate electricity, and power large sector of our economy. But when oil accidentally spills into the ocean, it can cause big problems. Oil spills can harm sea creatures and make seafood unsafe to eat as well. It takes sound science to clean up the oil, measures the impact of the pollution, and help the ocean recover. Radioactive waste is any pollution that emits radiation beyond what is naturally released by the environment. It is generated by uranium mining and nuclear power plants, and the production and testing of military weapons, as well as by the universities and the hospitals that use radioactive materials for research and medicine. Radioactive waste can persist in the environment for thousands of years, making disposal a major challenge. Accidentally released or improperly disposed of contaminants threaten groundwater, surface water, and marine resources. Now let's talk about how the water pollution affects the human health as well as the environment. On the human health, to put it bluntly, water pollution kills. Contaminated water can also make you ill. Every year, unsafe water sickens about 1 billion people, and especially low-income communities are at great risk because they don't have a source of clean water to drink. Waterborne pathogens in form of disease-causing bacteria and viruses from humans and animal waste are a cause of illness from contaminated drinking water. Accidental or legal release of sewage treatment facilities, as well as runoff from the farms and urban areas, contribute to harmful pathogens to the waterways. And to maintain this human health, we need potable water. which is nothing but the water which is suitable or fit for drinking. In order to thrive, healthy ecosystems rely on a complex web of animals, plants, bacteria, and fungi, all of which interact with each other. Harm to any of these organisms can create a chain effect, endangering the entire aquatic environment. When water pollution causes an algal bloom in the lake or marine environment, the spread of newly introduced nutrients stimulates plants and algae growth, which in turn reduces oxygen level in the water. This lack of oxygen, known as eutrophication, suffocates plants and animals and can create dead zones, where waters are essentially devoid of life. Marine ecosystems are also threatened by debris such as plastic bags and soda cans, which get swept into the rivers through rainwaters and eventually out to the sea. Some rivers, lakes, and groundwater are rendered unfit for usage. In India, the river Ganga is the sixth most polluted river in the world. This is unsurprising as hundreds of industries nearby release their effluents into the river. Furthermore, religious activities such as burials and cremations near the shore contribute towards pollution. Apart from the ecological implications, this river poses serious health risk as it can cause diseases such as typhoid and cholera. As per a survey, by the end of 2026, around 4 billion people will face a shortage of water. Presently, around 1.2 billion people worldwide do not have access to clean, potable water and proper sanitation. It is also projected that nearly 1,000 children die every year in India due to water-related issues. Now, groundwater is an important source of water, but unfortunately, even that is susceptible to pollution. Hence, water pollution is quite an important social issue that needs to be addressed promptly. So let's look at some things that we can do to prevent and reduce water pollution. Reduce your plastic consumption and reuse or recycle plastic when you can. Properly dispose of chemical cleaners, oils, and non-biodegradable items to keep them from ending up down the drain. Maintain your car so it doesn't leak oil, antifreeze, or coolant. If you have a yard, consider landscaping that reduces runoff and avoid applying pesticides and herbicides. Do not pour fat from cooking or any other type of fat, oil, or grease down the sink. Do not dispose of household chemicals or cleaning agents down the sink or toilet. Minimize the use of pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers in the farm. Do not flush pills, liquid, or powder medications or drugs down the toilet. Avoid using the toilet as a waste basket. Most tissues, wrappers, dust cloth, sanitary pads, and other paper goods should be properly discarded in a dustbin and not throw it in the toilet. Run the dishwasher or clothes washer only when you have a full load. This conserves electricity as well as water. Use the minimum amount of detergent and/or bleach when you are washing clothes or dishes, and use only phosphate-free soaps and detergent. With this, we have completed this chapter, Pollution of Air and Water. So next time you're brushing your teeth, don't forget to close the tap while you're brushing, because a tap that drips once every second wastes a few thousand liters of water every year. So I'm going to leave you with a thought for the day. Destroy water, you destroy life. And vice versa, protect water, you protect life. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment. Also, share and subscribe for upcoming videos. Thank you.